Have you guys heard about the witch that went from being poor to being a millionaire? What can I say? It's a real rags to witches story. What's going on, YouTube? So today we've got exciting news. We actually have the actual event confirmation for the Halloween event, and we now know what our grand reward is going to be for combining those little fragments together. If you're confused, you don't know what the Halloween event is, you don't know what fragments are, don't worry, we're going to talk about all that today in today's video, because we have some exciting news to share with you. Because I always love mounts. I mean, it's in the thumbnail, not really something I can build towards. And I was thinking we would either get a mount or a house. I'm glad we ended up getting a mount because they gave us a house last year, right? So this is kind of a good little change of pace. I always feel like they need to have more earnable mounts in the game. So I'm excited to show it to you. Here he is, the chunky boy. We have ourselves a bear. For some reason, we rarely get carnivores. This was actually like a thread forum topic for a while, where it's like pretty much every earnable mount is like a horse or something that's like a herbivore, and the first like carnivore that type animal that you could get was an ebon wolf, and that technically was like a dwarven wolf thing. It was a whole conversation. I remember scantily reading it and being like, huh. And also, these are going to be the Indrake feathers that are coming through. I have a secret infographic here that might turn into its own video for you to peruse, because I did not know this, but different events are going to have different Indrake berries with them. So hey, check out this little graphic here for that information, because I actually did not know that. Other information we were just going to kind of breeze through is what's new in this event before we kind of explain fragments, how that works, and all other mumbo jumbo. So what we got ourselves here is a new rune box, pet fragment, and then we have a new style. Those things generally will sell decently well based on the type of time you're selling it, which of those things you're getting, which pieces of the hunter style. So for those of you who don't know, generally the outfit pieces that are bigger sell for more. I mean, imagine how much in the world would you be willing to pay for a shirt versus a belt versus a pair of socks, things you have to kind of juggle. Generally, the more visible something is on somebody, the more it's going to sell for, and generally things sell for the most amount at the beginning of the event versus at the end of the event. So those are all things to kind of keep in mind. That's kind of really all the new stuff that has to go over. The Witch's Grab Bag is going to have some really good items in here. And for those of you who remember what I told you last time, the Witch's Grab Bag, as you can see, is only purchasable if you haven't collected all the items contained within. Which means that if you buy some of these items that are super cheap, you have the ability to roll for the bigger and better ones. Try to get, generally, I would say the fragments for the pets generally are not very high. The mementos don't sell for a whole lot, so you can buy usually those things, and then you can make sure that you're getting yourselves the cool masks and all the other little things like that. So that's how you can kind of manipulate the RNG a little bit for those, and I would highly encourage you guys to do so, because the rewards for the Witch's Grab Bag are actually really cool. And that's really going to be it unless you're interested in the fragments. But let's talk about the fragments. And we did have a whole video breakdown on the Impreso vendor, so feel free to check out that if you want a breakdown of how the Impresario works. I believe that's how you say it, like in its French Latin version. But basically, you can see up top here, all 3 Passion Dancer Blossom pet fragments are going to be available. So what happens is you combine those little bad boys in your inventory. It's kind of like you bake a cake, right? So you bake that cake, you get all your fragments, you bake that cake in your inventory, and then you get the fragments for the mount, and it requires you to have that cake. So it's kind of like we're icing the cake now, right? So now that you ice the cake, you get an iced cake. So it actually consumes the original cake. You lose the pet. You can go back and get it again, but you do lose it. You got to make a whole new cake, whole new ingredients, and start from scratch again. It's one of the more weird systems in ESO that I always never quite fully understood as a new player, because I was like, why can't I have my cake and eat it too? And they're like, well, just go make a new one. And I'm like, but why? why are we doing that? Why is this the design choice that you've gone with? But that's generally the heads and tails of how it works. It's not super complicated when you kind of break it down, but you will have to convert your fragments into something else. So you may combine all 3 of them, And then when the mount comes out, you'll be able to get all those fragments together, combine those together, you'll ice your cake, and then if you want, you can go back and get the pet again. Truthfully, the pet doesn't look very cool. Not something that I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna have that pet again. Oh darn. But it's something to note. There are a lot of people who like to have every item in the game, and if you want to do that, you have to have all of the fragments and you have to reconstruct the pet again at the beginning. And for those of you who saw my little Indrake graph and went, whoa, Jake, let's talk more about these Indrakes here. I like, earnable mounts. Let's talk more about that. Well, they are going to be over here. My map threw me away from it, but you just got to go to Belkarth, and head on down over here. There's going to be a vendor right here, and you're going to be able to purchase those fragments that I showed you on screen. And that's actually going to correspond basically to whatever type of event. It's going to be different types of Indrakes. Same concept. You have a cake, except the original cake is a mount, and you can either ice that cake into like a little green looking Indrake, maybe a blue one, maybe a purple one. I don't actually know how many colors there are. I'm not an Indrake person. I feel like they look a little goofy. But there are people that love them, and I'm not taking that away from you. I think earnable mounts are cool. I was actually lucky enough to get a decent mount myself and roll with it, and I was like, I'm never buying another mount again because I wasted way too much gold basically trying to get that mount. So thankfully, I'm not in the mount business, but there's a lot of people that do one mounts, and if you want to get those Indrakes, this is the place to go do it. So you have a lot of opportunity to get not only Indrakes, but you also have the ability to get that big boy bear if you're interested. And if you guys are interested in updated videos on things like the Ebon Wolf, or maybe another all unlockable mount video, stuff like that, if you're interested in topics like that, more than willing to recover those, as obviously new things come out. New things are in the game, but there's also a lot of cool items that I wanted to talk to you guys about, so that'll be probably the next video. But I was so excited when I saw today when they finally released the information for the Halloween event. I shouldn't be upset. Generally they'll be like, hey guys, it starts tomorrow, so be ready. But this time at least they were like, hey guys, it's like next week. So that was kind of nice. But let me know what you guys think. Is this going to be an event that you participate in? Do you like the double XP? Do you like being able to actually go out and get a bunch of reward boxes? It's going to give you a lot of stuff that you can use on your characters. The best recipes in the game are during this event, and it's definitely stuff that you want to stock up on. So let me know how you guys will be doing this event, and check out my other videos too on this event if that interests you, so you can figure out what's the ways that you want to grind it, what's best for you based on the type of stuff that you want. Editor Jake here, who noticed that there's another mount that you're able to get during this event and thought to himself, well, should probably throw this in there. So the Dagonic Qualzigriff fragments will be available through the Impresario's assistant. So the person that sits next to them at literally all of the areas that they are, which is almost every zone in the game, the assistant is actually going to have those fragments. If you're interested, you're going to be able to actually get another mount. And one that actually looks pretty decent, if I do say so myself. So a lot of mounts that you can get during this event, which is very weird because when I was making my videos about this event, it was much more like, hey, you guys, XP, rewards, recipes, but now it's turned into mounts. You get a mount, you can earn a mount, you can unlock this mount. Also, this web page is exceptionally bright. It's making my face exceptionally well lit and illuminated. So that's where we're going to wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because we are still doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed. 40% of you lovely juvelies are subscribed. I'm looking for a challenge of something to give back to you guys when I hit 20,000 subscribers. It could be ESO plus to a certain amount of people. It could be a type of video that you guys always wanted. It could be a live stream where we do different things. Open to suggestions, and I want your suggestions because we are going towards that huge milestone, and I love you guys for it. Second thing is, all you have to do is leave a like on the video. Just hit the like button. And then the third thing is a random word be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to comment it, you will win. There's going to be an audio cue for it as well, so it'll be easy for you guys to see. I make it plainly obvious as a reward for those of you who turn on the notification bell. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
Better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Thank you, lovely juvelies, for always sticking around past the end. Do you like the chapter system? Do you feel like it's helpful? for kind of breaking down the video into what kind of you want to see. Is there certain schemes that you like? Do you like when it's kept, you know, more focused on like types of things, like how to like categorize the chapters? What kind of ways do you like to do that? You know, for example, I was thinking about an XP video one, but then I was thinking to myself, like, well, people might not know. For example, let's say I suggest Black Rose Prison. I could, instead of saying, you know, Black Rose Prison in the chapter, I could just put like best XP per hour, requires DLC, requires a companion or friend, generally difficult to solo, you know, stuff like that, because that probably helps people categorize them more as they're kind of weaving through the video if they don't want to watch all of it. So open to suggestions on that. And if you're interested in yesterday's video, check it out. We talk about the best fishing spots in ESO. So thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you later. Peace.